Hello, everybody. My name is RoboPirate Foxy, and if you can't tell, this is just an angle I really like where we're watching the furnaces smelt some stuff. But start off today's episode, I just want to say I collected some more wood types to use as the other colors. I only collected four, being crimson, warped, cherry, and acacia, just because those woods are very different colors. I quickly ran out of plank wood, and I want to do a house probably for each type of villager, barring all the iron trade ones. Like I only need one armor. I only need one, whatever the one that uses the stone grinder, not the like, whatever uses the grinder, and one toolsmith is the upgrade table thing, smithing table. Those are all going to be in one house, but other than that, I want to separate them as much as I can. And obviously, I need a house entirely dedicated to librarians, and I need a house entirely dedicated to stonemasons because that's going to be the easiest way to get some of those blocks. And I want farmers to have their own house. Other than that, I don't think I'll dedicate a whole building to each type. Maybe if I go for weakness arrows from a Fletcher, I might, but I don't know about that one. So as we sit here and there's llama sound for some reason, so we can sit here and watch from this beautiful angle. That's it. Go into the time lapse for the building now, I guess. Okay, hello everyone. So, I am back from building these. And you may notice I only have 3 built. Well, honestly, I should probably have 4 built, but for today, I'm just going to worry about my librarians, my farmers, and my iron guys. Why? Because those guys are probably the most important. I'm calling these guys iron guys. These just count as anyone with iron trades, because these are going to be my guy for emerald. Villagers, or farmers I use for food, so I want them. And then, well, librarians are librarians. I don't need to explain that one. That's what I'm going to move today for the rest of today's video. So let's go get on with that. As you can see, this has been working not very well. They all grew up, but I only have I have 4 villagers in here. I don't know, maybe there's some better system I can do, or just give them more carrots or something, I don't know. But, yeah. Oh god, I forgot about clerics. What the hell? No. It. Now is not the time to be in my way. I'm moving Vilters. The Vilters must be moved. Okay, hello everyone, I'm back. I'm moving the last of my villagers now, which is just the farmers. I just had to make some more minecarts because I've been doing this all off groups of 2, so they're easier to control. But I just want to get these last ones out of here. I am leaving this Fletcher here for now, and I'm gonna leave this Butcher here because I don't really need them. Uh-oh. So I know they're probably gonna bounce back again, but if I can be really quick about this. I'm not quick enough, I'm not quick enough, I'm not quick enough. Oh. I was too quick. Okay. Get in there. I did it again. Please take the right thing. Yay. With these guys in place, we have farmers, librarians, and my iron and gold workers. First things first is, honestly, I want to build... What did I want to do? I don't know. I literally forgot as I was talking. I feel dumb. Oh my god. Okay, first things first is I want to finish this. I want to get the zombie in place. Also, super odd thing. This is what I wanted to talk about. Why are they all oak... Or, not oak. Why are they all plains villagers? Like, I know villagers are mostly picked in the biome they're born in, but parents does a lot, too. So they should be, like, a good mix of desert and plains villagers, but they're not. So, one is, as you can see, there's tons of extra carrots being thrown around, so I want to do something about that. But 2, I want to put something in there. So, I want to expand this more, too, so I can house more villagers. The major issue first is I want them to just drop 2 blocks, so that way they're all contained in a 2x... one single stack. Because, you know, yeah. God, I'm talking so well today. So I want to drop them down because it just makes it easier to get them out when they're all in one block and not like this. But I still want to push them against the corner with water, so that way they don't, they can have as many in there, because when entities are in water, they don't entity cram. So that means I'm not limited to just 24 villagers. But 2, it also means it won't be like this, where they're pushing slower and slower back, because I fear once they're in the eye of the farmers, they're going to start throwing stuff down there. But the only issue is it has to be 3 drops. Oh, thanks for the carrots. I'm actually going to repurpose these, give them to these guys. That way they can do it more. It's just, yeah, whatever, that's what I'm going with. So it needs to be a 3-block drop, because that way they don't get stuck on the corner like in the other farm. So that makes me think back to my original idea, where we're going to use a drained pool as the area for the zombification. Because it's that or a basement. That's the only way this will work. And I don't really want to do a basement, because it's not as funny. I mean, I feel like it's a pretty easy step in the right direction. It'll be easy to do. I also think I want another building on this side of the pool for storage. Like, I don't want to have all my chests out like this. Obviously, most of those are going away, but some of them aren't. I can have a brewer for all that. I do want to use stone bricks. Of course, I cleaned up all my stuff when I'm about to immediately need it all again. So I'm just going to use stone bricks because it'll be easier. I also want the entrance to be from inside the pool, so that way it's not like I come over here, dun dun dun, you know. So first, I guess I should probably dig the hole for the pool. That seems the most reasonable. I don't know, it feels right, though. That 14 and 8 feel kind of right, I'm not gonna lie. I think I'll just go with it, you know. Worst thing is I make it bigger. Because the longer I make it, the wider it has to feel. You know what I mean? So, and then it's not gonna be any deeper than this. This is pool depth right here. This isn't Olympic or anything. So let's say the villagers come out of a hole here. So space, powered rail, space, power rail, space, power rail, space. And then, yeah, everything after here can be the shallow end. Did I make the shallow end like this? Probably. I know there's usually only, like, stairs in the corner, but that way I can get out a lot easier. I'm gonna do it this way. It'd be like the whole front is a step, and then step. No, actually, I don't know if the whole rim is gonna be smooth stone, or the whole walkway outside is gonna be smooth stone. But I know this is, because I just think that fits very well as like an edge of a pool color. Now the question is, though, what do I put inside? Because, like, obviously it's gotta be a blue block, but do I feel like they just do blue paint? Or do you think they do, like, tiles? Like, I'm thinking prismarine, obviously, but I can't use regular prismarine blocks because they change color. There's prismarine bricks, but they give a tile look, and then there's dark prismarine, that's too dark. Maybe I have some weird... Trying to think of blocks. It's kind of hard. What weird blue blocks did I use? Light blue concrete is too dark. So no. Like too vibrant. I mean, stripped warp, that's too dark. Wool could work if it didn't have that texture. I mean, see, you can see what I'm talking about. It has this weird tile thing going on, which would work, but it's not the look I want. Like I said, you gotta remember, everything's supposed to have this cheap feel to it, like they did it just because they had to. You know, they made a pool because they had to, which is why I don't think they go through the effort to tile it. It would be waterproof paint they'd had the contractor pick up on the way there. Oh, light blue terracotta. I just thought about that. Do I have any extra terracotta? I do have extra terracotta, nice. You got that exact texture, too, of, like, the sandpapery paint. Because, you know, it's not smooth because it has to have texture on it, you know? So, it's got that... terracotta has that color. Or has that, like, texture. Yeah, it's a little dark. A little dark. For now, though, I think it might genuinely be my best bet. I'm talking like I'm not allowed to change it after. If I don't like it, I can change it. The pool is done. Now, I want the hole here. And I want it to have a little... splunky. That doesn't make much sense, but you know what I mean. So you'll come in here and then they'll like a sewer. So I want them to come down here and actually get zombified down here. And then they'll come out here and I'll think of something to put over, like a board of wood or something to stop the sunlight. So they'll be here and then I'll cure them here. Hello everybody. So I'm just gonna skip to the end of this because this genuinely took me way longer than I thought it would. And my incoherent rambling that I've been doing while planning it out becomes extra apparent. So I'm just gonna skip to the end of it and show you guys the cool thing. So, yippee. There we go. So it's like a little way to light up down here. I mean, there'll always be sunlight coming through this hole, and then this will be covered, but not right now. This is also an issue I'll have to figure out, but that could be easily covered. Because I need to I'll probably put like a white carpet here to be like that. Because I want this to be like that thing you pick up and it like is a filter so it catches all the leaves before it goes into the whatever heating system you have, or just a filter. But I want to do something. So that probably will just be a white carpet for that. Then, whoa, disk space. Whoa. Okay. With that travesty avoided, I think it is just time I get the villager. So I think I'll have the zombie get out of the minecart here instead. And then there'll be a pathway, that in the worst spot imaginable. So the reason I'm gonna leave the back open like this is because as long as he doesn't get out on the rails, he won't be able to pathfind out. Yeah, he literally won't burn. And I might change that sword one day, but I just gave him an iron... Oh, he figured it out. He's unleashed. The beast is out. But see, look, no burnage. Uh-oh, he's figuring out he can go around corners. Get him! Got him. Okay, cool. So I should have a shield or something, but I don't. Like I said, we'll live. And one day I'll upgrade his sword, but today is not the day. Do not! Uh-oh. You got out on the rails. Why would you pathfind? Why? Why would you pathfind like that? Genuinely. Oh, it all worked out anyway. Get over here, buddy. This way. Idiot! Got him! Watch him have died when he did that fall. That would have sucked. There we go. So that way they can get through without dying. Oh, you live. But with those changes, this is basically done. Probably could make that a non-powered rail, but I'm not gonna. So this is our villager changing, modifying area. I don't need to make any villagers right now, so sadly no test run. I mean, it definitely needs to be made prettier, but I'm gonna do that, well, right now. Actually, that's the next step, is prettifying it. What am I gonna do? So we're gonna put a roof on this building, probably bring it out here, so there's only this glass wall right here. And like I said, roads and stuff will still need to be connected, but I'll do a pool deck, I think. So other than that, yeah, let's get right on with it in a time-lapse. More of those, yay! Okay, so I finished that. You know, with my use of smooth stone, I realized while building this kind of looks like a prison, so exactly what I was going for. I also still need to move a bunch of this stuff. I don't know if will include it, but I moved all the building supplies. This is just the leftover junk. But here's a little pool area. I kind of wanted to look like it was still under construction, which is what this stuff is here. So it's just like piles of dirt and stuff. And I have a little pallet in the corner full of tile and junk like that. I just put a little edge on so it looked better. That's about it. I want to do something about this too, because it kind of blocks the view, but there's no way to stop the water, I think, without blocking my view, so that's kind of annoying, but maybe I'll fix it. Also, I just covered the exposed stone brick with barrels, because I didn't really know what else. And I put this little white trim on the building just to, one, so I could put lanterns up, but two, because I didn't really know what to break up the roof with. I really do like the shape of the building. I think it came out very well. But the empty space, especially on the back, it's much more apparent. But it's okay here because we can hide it. This side too, it's fine because the roof is so low. But over here, it's very apparent, and I don't really know what to put there. But then I also modified the inside a little, so I have this as like a storage room for all the books I'm gonna get and stuff. And this is where my ender chest would be, my crafting table. I can't really do anything about the dirt on the roof, but got all my building supplies in here and junk. Very nice. Also got... I replaced the sandstone I put up here, which was already a piece of dirt. I replaced it with sandstone, but then I used this just to light up the room. I know I have tons of lights in here, but whatever. And over here is where I'm going to be brewing my little potions of weakness. So, ta-da-da-da-da. And then, you know, I've already shown it, but I might as well include it in the little tour. I got down here my little sewer system. This is way over-designed for what it is, but I really don't care. This looks awesome. I'm really proud with how this all came out. I got this little, you know, this is cool. This is nice. I kind of want more construction equipment, but I don't really know what to put. So I'm just going to do this for now. And the building interior is nice as well, and it made me not need to build another building over there for all this stuff. Because I didn't think it would be so big, so I was okay with losing the space, but then I built all that up. But now with that, I think I'm going to start on what started this whole thing in the first place, which is wheat. So, the last thing I'm going to do for today, and mainly I'm going to focus on the wheat one, because that's the one I mentioned specifically, and also it's just the harder to build. But I'm going to build a wheat, a carrot, and a potato farm. Kind of thinking how to do it. This could be one of those... I don't know. It's got to be weird. I gotta think about this one for a sec. So I did kind of think of a design. I genuinely want you to imagine 3 inhalers next to each other, like right here. I know that sounds weird. Well, okay, for my editing's sake, I'm going to repeat that. Okay, so genuinely... imagine, like, 3 inhalers right here. The reason I say that is because I want to have a little bump out where I can collect the carrots, the potatoes, and the wheat from. Not that I'm going to use potatoes that much, but carrots and wheat can be extremely useful. Especially since I have a gold farm, even though I can buy food from villagers, golden carrots, golden apple, well, golden carrots. And then wheat is mainly what will be used the most because I need a lot, you know, mud, target blocks. Not that I use a lot of target blocks, but stuff like that. So I want to have 6 chests in each one that dictate. So they'll go with like this. I need to change the floor. I want to have 6 double chests worth of storage. Hello, Future Robo again. So I want a button here because I want to say I spend this super long time explaining and building the first wheat and carrot farm with you guys, and it's not that big a deal. So to explain it, the carrot farm and the potato farm uses this weird thing where you put hopper minecarts in front of where a villager with no job is standing. You then, on the other side of that wall, have a farmer villager who is growing these crops. They'll try to throw the carrots to the villager, but it'll get caught in the hopper minecarts, then go down into the chests. And that's so much worse than the other 2 farms, but maybe it just really needs to get going. But the wheat farm is just a villager in a room locked by himself. And you have a hopper minecart underneath that picks up the wheat, some seeds, so you gotta make sure you give the villager a lot, and the bone meal, because the villager will actually make bone meal out of seeds. So, again, just gotta make sure you gotta give him a lot, it shouldn't be an issue. But the reason you want this to be really weird is because you can't have another villager there, because then the villager is gonna make bread out of the wheat to give to the other villagers. So if you want a bread farm, you can do that, but I obviously want the wheat from this for hay bales, for packed mud, for target blocks, so it's kind of weird. And then I go into a time lapse building the farms after I showed these off, so that's what you'll see now. Yay. Okay, so here we are. I finished them up, and these are the buildings. The hay one, I don't like this stripe down the middle, but I didn't like how the building felt so naked next to the other two. So I might do a different design, but for now, that's just what I did. So I do like the concrete. I also, as you can tell, I decided to use actual hay blocks for the hay ones, just because I thought maybe that would look better than the yellow concrete, just because hay actually has a block. There is no block of potato. Yeah, I like that better. I'm quite fond of them. I do like them, and mainly I need the wheat one to work, so hopefully that works better. I'll do an AFK test. That's probably how I'll start next episode, but I'm really out of time, so I'm just going to say thank you all so much for watching. There's a creeper over there, and